This is what it's like beyond the roadblocks. National Guard blocking the road.
John Baird, he's been driving around checking things out. Where are you, John?
I'm still in Calabasas. This area was one of the areas, of course, that we were supposed to see these really intense winds. So far, I haven't seen that, at least where I'm at. But it really depends on where you are. I spoke to Ventura County and LA County fire officials a bit earlier, and I just got off the phone with LA City Fire Captain Adam Van Gerven, who, along with LA County's Fabian Herrera, they're working the devastating Palisades fire. And yes, both have said they've seen some winds. This is Captain Van Gerven.
We are having some wind. We did have the wind gusts.
I don't see any wind.
Could get up to 50, 70 miles an hour, but
You look at the palm trees to see if there's wind. My coworkers. I have my yellow flashers on.
Further up to half a mile.
He says it's also important for people to do the usual stuff during these winds. The yard work, make sure chains aren't dragging from trucks, that kind of thing. Anything that can spark, we can't have it during this kind of wind.
Work continues to get a containment line on the fringes of the Palisades fire. Pete Demetrio reports high-tech teams of workers busy trying to figure out the scale of the damage done.
Two-person damage assessment teams are moving block by block in the burn zone of Pacific Palisades. Cal Fire Public Information Officer Colin Noy says with laptops and data in hand, they're doing a comparison of a landscape.
They know what was there prior to this incident, and then they're going to go assess and see what happened.
They literally look by GPS. What address are they at now? And they look at it and see what the damage is.
That's correct. We have all the pre-information, and now we're collecting all the post-information.
Even with multiple teams doing the work, it may take weeks to finish the individual site assessments. While back at the base camp, other techs are inputting the data that will eventually lead to figures on just how devastating the Palisades fire really was. On the Palisade fire front, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
In Ventura County, crews stopped the progress of a wildfire last night. Auto fire broke out just before 7 p.m. Santa Clara River bottom, wind driven, about 56 acres, and no structures threatened because of the location there. Ventura County Fire's Andrew Dowd talking with the KCAL News.
Typically in a fire situation like this where we have a wind-driven fire, it is very possible and probable that the fire may to start to extinguish that.
Took 5 hours out there to stop the forward progress.
More on the weather forecast coming up after traffic, 7:05.
Susie Jessup, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
You know, these closures change by the minute, honestly. And a couple hours ago when I spoke to Lost Hills Sheriff, they were telling me that Malibu Canyon was open, except for between Civic Centerway and PCH. Now, wait. Thankfully, Sister Bobby from Malibu just checked in, and she heard the report. And this was, I directly spoke to an officer at Lost Hills, and again, things change, and he told me things change. She said, southbound side of Malibu Canyon, she had told someone that they could get through, and they did. They were able to get through with 2 checkpoints and showing proper ID. But then her husband left to go to the valley, and he was going from Malibu to the valley, and they would not let anybody in on the northbound side of Malibu Canyon. So again, it looks to be that Malibu Canyon southbound is open with proper ID for residents, but even residents are not going to be able to access Malibu Canyon. Getting out of Malibu to the valley, you're going to have to, if you're in western Malibu, if you're in the Colony, if you're in Pepperdine, you're going to have to access Canaan, because Topanga Canyon remains closed between Mulholland and PCH. And keeping in mind, your eastbound or southbound side of PCH, that is closed at Sweetwater. So the Sarah Retreat cannot access Cross Creek. People cannot access Cross Creek. But again, northbound Malibu Canyon, not open even for residents, and southbound for residents only. 2 checkpoints through there, guys.
All right, Susie, thanks. Getting some pretty strong gusts over the tops of, some of the mountains, the high elevations, but for the rest of us, I guess we can call it a so far so good this morning. Let's talk to the Weather Channel and meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Yeah, you're right. Fortunately, the wind's not nearly as strong as what we experienced last Tuesday of last week, but we still have some very dry conditions. Relative humidity levels dropping as low as 8 to 15%. You combine that with these gusty easterly and northeasterly winds at times. These fires are going to pop up and be able to spread rapidly today, so that's why that EDS red flag warning's in effect from today until noon tomorrow. We also have high wind warnings in effect till noon tomorrow. Some of these higher gusts should get an elevation potentially near 60 or 65 miles per hour across portions of the San Gabriel Mountains and also western portions of the Santa Monica Mountains heading over to Ventura County and also across portions of the 5 corridor. So we'll keep you updated. Fortunately, a break from the winds tomorrow afternoon and an onshore flow takes over later in the week, and that will certainly help out as we head towards.
I heard Vaughn's burned down.
Meteorologist Jeff Marr, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Yeah, because of the winds, the entire Angeles National.
Oh, no, it looks like it's still there.
Until Monday. Craig Vigner is
Good.
now covering the Eden fire for us in Altadena. And Craig, you have some new information?
Yeah, just got a bunch of new information here that's going to be announced as part of the 8 o'clock briefing, but getting it first here on KNX News. The death toll from the Eden fire has changed. The number has been downgraded by 1. Yesterday they were saying 16 people had died in connection with the Eden fire, and now they're saying it's 50. Not sure why that is. Working to find out why the number changed by 1, but maybe it's because one of the deaths they later determined wasn't connected directly to the fire. Maybe it wasn't exactly a civilian death, because they do report these as civilian deaths. There have been 5 firefighters injured, and the number of properties that are verified destroyed, that number is now 2,722. That's an increase by about 850. That's up 850 roughly from yesterday's count. The number damaged is being put at 329. They've got just an enormous number of firefighters on the scene here, about 3,200 firefighters, and the structure's threatened. They say it's 39,428.
Now we're near the Getty Villa. everywhere. Okay, here at Topanga. Looks like Topanga Lifeguard Headquarters is still there. Wow, the nursery's burnt. I should have had the camera facing that way. We'll see it on the way back. That hotel's gone. Hotel. That Thai restaurant's gone. Or wine tasting place, both of them. To the waterfront mansions. All gone. All of them. Those were some $8 million homes, $10 million homes. Sure. What do you know? Las Tunas stayed. Okay, it looks like some mansions have been preserved, or waterfront apartments, whatever they are. Yeah, look at that one. Still there. Concrete house. Look at that one. Very interesting. Rock. All my access ways are gone. I just changed the locks on those last week. Look at all that. All gone.
some disaster recovery centers opening today to help victims of the fires.
Fire crews in Orange County saying they're going to be ready. Those hydrants will have the water if the fire breaks out there. 7:15, brought to you by Silverthorne Attorneys, injury lawyers, Susie Jeff.
Well, as far as the Palisades fire goes, that main closure, Pacific Coast Highway, closed from the McClure Tunnel to Sweetwater Canyon, and you're going to be diverted off still at Lincoln Boulevard for that westbound 10.
I'm on that road closure.
On-ramp, you're not going to be able to access that to the westbound 10. Now, as far as the 405, that is open. That is your main alternative to Topanga Canyon being closed from Mulholland to the beach. That is your instant route change brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change up southbound 405. Loaded up, I'm going to call it, from leaving Roscoe as you make your way to about Skirball, and that is where Skirball Center is closed. That off-ramp is closed. That's the only off-ramp closed, as well as the Culver Boulevard.
I heard on the news that Dukes was burned away, but it's still there.
California Toyota dealers, Instant
That's good news.
Outside of the 101. Slow from about Winnetka as you make your way to the 405. And I do want to mention again, Bobby called up, and she lives in Malibu, and she said that she knew people that were driving southbound on Malibu Canyon, 2 checkpoints, checking IDs. You have to be a resident. And her husband tried to get to the valley. He could not get on the northbound side of Malibu Canyon. That remains closed. Keeping in mind, Canaan has been open this entire time. I'm still seeing a lot of slowing southbound or eastbound side of PCH, leaving Trancas, leaving Broad Beach as you make your way to Zuma. That's where there's one command post set up for the fire department. A lot of fire engines. It is a sight to behold, blocking that right lane with bulldozers and heavy equipment right around Zuma. Injured at work? Don't wait. Visit injurednow.com today. Our top accident injury attorneys, led by Ian Silverthorne, are ready to fight for you. And remember, we don't get paid until you do. Get the compensation you deserve. Justice starts here at injurednow.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5. The Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Moderate to strong standing winds will continue with a lot of our strongest gusts over some of the mountains and also our canyon corridors, where we could see gusts up to about 65 miles per hour. Winds will continue to stay active through Wednesday and then finally starting to relax as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Because we're looking at these warm temperatures because of the winds, our temperatures will be a little warmer today and tomorrow. We're looking at highs today in the upper 60s for the coast, upper 60s for the next couple of days for LA and Orange County, low 60s for the valleys with upper 60s by tomorrow and 70s by Thursday. For the Inland Empire, upper 60s today, low 70s by tomorrow, upper 50s for the high deserts, low 50s as we head into Wednesday, and then temperatures topping out for Thursday and Friday in the low 60s. For mountain communities, we still have those wind advisories. Temperatures today will be in the mid 40s, and then by tomorrow topping out in the low 50s. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
As we brace for these winds that are going to be with us for at least a day, people who have evacuated, they're still trying to pick up the pieces, and there are disaster recovery centers that are opening. There's one that's opening today, this afternoon. This is going to be at the UCLA Research Park. That's on Pico at the old West Side Pavilion, if you know that area. That's really targeting people on the west side to the Palisades fire. There's another one. This is run by FEMA that's opening today at Pasadena City College, the Community Education Center there. That's going to open, at least today's hours are going to be 1 this afternoon until 8 o'clock tonight. Yesterday, there were some local libraries, 8 of them.
This stretch of Malibu seems to be untouched.
Were packed with people who lost everything, and those whose homes were just damaged.
The application for assistance is actually pretty complex if you don't have a total loss. So some of those questions I don't know how to answer. Do we have moderate damage, severe damage? Our house is unlivable? Like, I need help understanding how to fill out my application accurately.
Shannon's Sab's situation is different. She lost her home of 24 years.
I have the clothes on my back. I have nothing. I have nothing.
She has questions.
I do have insurance. Homeowner's insurance.
Did you reach out to your insurance?
I did reach out.
Yes, we're out of it.
Insurance. So they're helping me initially financially.
There's no booth. Still standing. I guess I'm beyond the active fire zone.
So I just want to get some answers here.
The recovery resource
But this section of road is still closed to the public.
You can go there if you lost your home or business.
I'm gonna stop video out for now.
Past